Hello, me lovelies. Well, have you ever wondered if karma is playing out before you? Well, I have experienced it in firsthand, play out right in front of my eyes. And I'd like to share with you what I've learned from this. And it's from my book, Universe Decoded, the chapter on karma, which is one of the reasons why you may be experiencing bad things and how to overcome it quickly. Well, karma is from the Sanskrit word meaning action. So your thoughts are energy, your deeds are energy, your focus is energy, and that plays out in what you experience because it returns to you. And whether it's good energy, good thoughts, or bad energy, it's all a karmic equation. But this is the lifetime that we have to balance out our karma. Our souls have been alive for many lifetimes, and this lifetime is where we fast track a lot of this karma and we remove it. And I think we've gone through a lot of hardship, which has grown us, which has changed us, which has brought us back to realizing that love is most important. So we are able to overcome and not only grow, but balance out our karma. Well, I want to share a story on a woman called Norma Edwards, and she gives this honest interview about her near-death experience and what she saw. And she explains that in one of the visions in her near-death experience, she saw herself as a little black child on the cotton fields with her mother, and they were picking cotton. And if they didn't meet their quota of cotton, then they would get whipped by this master. He was a white guy on a horse, and he would be cruel and whip them so that they speed up. And then she said the next image she saw was herself as the white master on the horse whipping black people if they didn't meet their quota of cotton. And she realized in that moment that that lifetime was a result of another lifetime where she had played out as the white master hurting these black people. So she said, you can never judge anything because it all comes back to us in some shape or form. So I want to give you a real life example of karma playing out right before me. So when I was creating Forensic Healing 5th module, which is Spirit module, I invited this girl, let's call her Kylie, and she was a client of mine, but also had attended some courses with me that I'd either given or other practitioners I hosted had given. So I knew her somewhat, fairly well. But it seemed to be that she was stuck in negativity. She was stuck in hatred towards her ex-boyfriend's girlfriend. And she would always say, I hate this girl. She stole my boyfriend. And that seemed to be just something that kept running throughout her life. And she had done neuro-linguistic program, NLP, which teaches you about language. She had done many energy healing courses, but it just didn't seem to stick with her. And she stayed in this mode and couldn't get out of a negative life that she was living. She didn't live a very good life. Nothing was prosperous. It seemed to be her finances. She was struggling in finances. She was struggling in her mental well-being and happiness. So I thought, come, Kylie, come and experience some new healing pathways. You've never had these ones before, and these might help you. And she agreed. And we were filming it. And this film was never used. I deleted the film after she had had this healing, and this is why. So she's on the table. I'm giving her these new healing pathways. She gets off the table and she says, I feel amazing. I've never felt this peaceful. I've never felt so good. So my heart's like warmed and I'm feeling, oh, this is so great. We finally got some progress with her that she struggled with. But as I do, out of my mouth comes, well, how do you feel towards your ex-boyfriend's girlfriend? And she said, I hate her. I still hate her. And then the moment she said that, it just didn't make sense to me. I thought, oh, but you're feeling so good. When you feel so good, do you know what I mean? It should lighten up how you feel. And I just said, oh, I just thought you could have felt a little bit different, maybe saying, you know, I'm trying to work past it. But that same words came out of her mouth. And, you know, I let everyone be how they want to be. And, you know, I feel a bit sad because I thought I'd made progress, but then that happened. But that's okay. I'm like, I never worry too much because I always know that, I am the conduit for energy healing. And if someone wants to move past something, that's up to them. But it was a beautiful learning experience for me because I saw then her change state. Then within seconds, or probably half a minute of her saying those words, she then said, I'm starting to feel worse. This, my healing is not, that healing you gave isn't working. And as she's leaving, she said there's entities following her or there's bad energy. And then she went home and then she emails me saying that I am to blame for her feeling so bad. And I started to wake up then. I thought, you know what? Her mother, who saw me also as a client, just made a passing comment saying, Kylie doesn't listen. And then I thought about how she hangs on to hating somebody, and even after she had that healing. And I thought, that is karma in action. I was giving her something for free and I had all good intentions, and then she got what she wanted, but then she hung on to this hate. And it was falling back on her, and in a big way. And so I emailed and I said, I can't remember exactly what I said. It was just saying, well, you need to take responsibility for your thoughts and actions. Something brief. Because I normally don't engage in all of that. And I just said something brief like that. And I remember her emailing back as if she said, wow. She couldn't believe what I had said. She couldn't believe that she said she's got to be responsible. That just didn't compute in her eyes. And I have personally experienced pain come up in my body just out of nowhere. It's just struck me. But then I had an image of somebody from my past when I was a Mormon who I felt was treating me so unfairly and so cruelly that we actually ended up leaving the church, which was meant to happen, but I had bad feelings. And I remember staring this person out, and I had that flash of that image of that person come before me. And I thought, I have to reverse that negative energy, that bad feeling I had towards that person, because they were actually helping me exit a phase in my life that I needed to exit. So what I've learned in this life is not all bad things are from bad karma. There are many things, and that is why I created the 14 key spiritual laws to manifesting. But sometimes bad things have 5 messages in them. That's your opportunity to grow, because that negativity pushes you to say, I want something new. And it's an opportunity to say, I'm not going to go into my old victim pattern. And maybe you can inspire others to overcome bad situations. And if you analyze really loving people, you'll often see they've had great role models and they've learnt that from childhood. So they're just naturally loving. Or you've witnessed people that have had a really rough time so bad that they've experienced the almost unforgivable, and they forgive that they then can forgive minor things in life that don't mean really much to them at all compared to what they've experienced. And you look at those people and you can be inspired by them and grow from them, because you watch how the universe responds when they're growing themselves, they're sending love, and they're overcoming. But that isn't easy for those people that have endured hardship, pain, suffering, and abuse, because they will be continually triggered. And unless that's healed inside, then it stays inside. And so this is our journey of life. And if you're interested in learning more about these key spiritual laws, hit the subscribe button and express your interest in my upcoming book, The Universe Decoded. And I'll see you next video. Take care.